All right, Arman is next. Arman is next. What up, what up? Arman is next. What do you guys say about that? I want to see Arman Tsarukyan versus Ilia Topuria. I don't think Arman has a nickname, but I want to see El Matador versus Arman. Let's get it. Let's get it going. What do you guys say? Welterweight's the best division, but let's make lightweight amazing. Let's make lightweight a close second. It doesn't feel right when lightweight isn't the best division, you know? It just doesn't feel right. Like, lightweight should always be the best division. Am I crazy or what? No? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but I love that welterweight's the most stacked division. But man, do I miss a stacked lightweight division. I might make a video on that soon. I mean, there's already a bunch of videos on that shit. There's already a bunch, but who's in second place for the most stacked division? Is it lightweight? Is it bantamweight? It doesn't seem like it's bantamweight. Speaking of bantamweight, UFC 323, it's up next. And look, we love Petr Yan, but are we hyped about the title fight? For some reason, you know, we aren't as hyped for this Merab main event. Like, we'll take Merab on a fight card. It's always interesting to watch Merab ragdoll somebody. Let me make sure I got the chat on. Sweet. I'll always watch, you know, Merab do his cardio thing. He's like the Tasmanian devil. He's a spaz. He's the Energizer Bunny, right? I'll always watch it. But I don't know about Merab versus Yan as a main event. We already saw it at the Apex. I know it's going to be different in a bigger cage. And the first fight, you know, it was amazing to see how many takedown attempts Merab can shoot. But other than that, there was no story to the fight. There was no story to the fight. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? 3-2-3? I think the prelims are top notch. Best set of prelims I've seen in a minute. But at the same time, we got to check out the main card. The main card might need a little bit of work, all right? Anyway, what up, viewers? What up? What up? What's going on? Hello, brother. How are ya? We getting that vampire crab reveal now or at 100K subs? Yeah, once I get monetized, I'll definitely buy a vampire crab. And I will definitely display it on the stream. You know, we're not all at your level yet with huge tanks, right? We all don't have huge aquariums in our house yet. I'll get there soon. Oh yeah, the last stream everyone was talking about fish. Yeah, we'll get there soon. Before 100K subs. Way before 100K. I'll get an aquarium at 20K subs. How about that? Maybe even sooner. But, I guess everyone about the Khamzat scenario thinks Khamzat's in the right. All right. That's all good. Khamzat pushed Garry. Hey, it was entertaining. I was on the Ian Garry side, but either way, it was entertaining, I guess. Would you say it's an abomination that Vettori's on the early prelims, or you think he belongs there? I love it. I love it. It's not an abomination. Nothing wrong with having fighters with names on the prelims. That makes people watch from the very start. You know? Nothing worse than when everyone only tunes in for the main card, or everyone's just begging and waiting for the prelims to be over. I say, I like Marvin Vettori, but I think he belongs in the prelims, yeah, of a pay-per-view. If it was a fight night, put him on the main card. But if we're talking end of the year pay-per-view, put Arman on there. That's why I love the prelims. I haven't seen prelims this good since what? UFC, was it 310? I remember, I think it was UFC 310. We had Aljamain Sterling versus Movsar Evloev on the prelims. I'm pretty sure that was on the prelims. This is the only bad part about the prelims. I'll tell you my only gripe with having good fighters on the prelims. And it's not to do with the UFC. It's to do with the big cities. You know? If you go to Vegas, or let's say anywhere in California, and have a UFC event, no one's going to show up at the fucking prelims. You could have Yuri on the prelims, and the crowd won't be full. Which pisses me off, you know. I get it, Theo Vani's always at prelims, but like, in those huge cities like Vegas and anywhere in Cali, Los Angeles, you could have Yuri on the prelims and the crowd's empty. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you guys? That's why I love when UFC travels to places that aren't like all Hollywood. I like when UFC travels to places that aren't all full of celebrities. You know, if you want a full crowd for the prelims, you go to a place where there's 9-to-5ers, blue collar workers, whatever, 9-to-5ers with beers in their hands. That's how you hype it. The timing of Ilia's divorce is pretty crazy because he's facing his toughest challenge soon. And his ex going to be watching. Can't lose in front of her. Damn, if she's watching, that might be some extra motivation right there. Do you think she's going to be watching? Is she still interested in the Ilia Topuria story? Do you think she's going to watch live? Or do you think she's going to watch the highlights after? Because she's from Miami. People don't forget. People remember, man. She's from Miami. She might have better things to do on a Saturday night. Right? Is a Miami girl going to be staying up for Ilia's fight? I think she's going to watch the morning after. Someone's going to send her the clips, the highlights. That's my prediction. Arman can promote this fight so nicely by posting a photo with Ilia's baby mama during the build-up in his helicopter. Doesn't he have a private jet? Sure, go ahead, Arman. Arman is promotable. I didn't finish the whole thing, but Arman was just on the Ariel Helwani interview. The dude's unintentionally funny. I know he kind of sounds like a robot, like he speaks in a cadence that's robot-like, but I'm a fan of Arman. Even though Arman's this rich guy, I don't view him as the spoiled child in the lightweight division. You know who I view as the spoiled rich kid in the lightweight division? Paddy Pimblett. His ex for sure watching it live. All right. Well, shit, that's pretty awesome. Respect. A Miami girl is watching the fights on a Saturday night. Out of all the things to do, she could be at the club, the EDM concerts, some fancy dinner spot, but no, she'll be watching the fights? Respect. I guess you gotta respect that at least. But I feel like Paddy Pimblett's the spoiled rich kid in the lightweight division. I know Arman is really the richest guy. Minus Topuria, but like, I put Paddy in the thumbnail because I heard he's ranked number 5. And he beat what? Number 12 ranked Chandler his last fight? UFC, we like Paddy Pimblett. Don't make us hate him because you're over promoting him and he doesn't deserve it. What up, Mini Beans? Like, for some reason, I can like the fighter, but the UFC can make me hate him if they just constantly privilege him, you know? Like Paddy. Paddy was at UFC Qatar not fighting. He hasn't fought since April. He was at UFC Qatar eating at a restaurant, hanging out with influencers. I'm like, how the fuck can this guy act like he's on vacay? He hasn't fought since April. May, June, July, August, September, October, November. This guy hasn't showed up to work in 7 months. And the UFC flew him out to Qatar and gave him tickets. Like, that's crazy to me, you know? I think UFC wants to build up Topuria by having him fight Paddy. Paddy, fight Gaethje or Charles. You got options. And Arman's promotable. Arman has the Russian fans, and he has his own fan base. He definitely got a lot more popular after this fight, you know. It was waiting to happen. I think Arman keeps it real. I like how he admits he grew up rich. He's not hiding anything. I like how he admitted he had to finish Dan Hooker, you know. He said, I couldn't squeak by a decision. Then Paddy would deserve it, you know. I finished Dan Hooker. Now I'm the real #1 contender. We're all hyped for Arman versus Ilia. I so hope I'm wrong about my Paddy Pimblett title shot prediction. You know? I hope I'm wrong. What else? What else going on in the MMA? I'm kind of done talking about the Garry Khamzat debacle. It was fun. It was cool to watch. Now, I did just realize that Arman and Ilia clip of them walking past each other where Ilia grabbed his head, that was from June. I thought that was during UFC Qatar. So, people think I'm crazy, but Ilia Topuria dodged Arman all fight week. No one cares about Islam Ilia no more. It's all Ilia Arman. You're on to something. This is how I see it. I definitely care about that fight. But that should have happened in June instead of Charles fighting Ilia. Should have been Islam. But since time's passed, since Arman got a win, and since Islam's in a different division, all we care about right now is Arman versus Ilia. Yeah, you're right. Now we're definitely going to go back to that fight. If Ilia beats Arman, that's going to be the biggest fight to make. But we got to accomplish a few things first. There's work to do before we get Ilia versus Makhachev. Neither of them have defended their belts, right? I know Islam just fought, but if they both defend their belt just once, they'll be able to fight each other. No problem. That fight only made sense at 155. But now I don't want to see it at 170. I don't want Makhachev to drain himself to lightweight. Asterisks. Exactly. I agree. That fight made the most sense in June. International Fight Week. Yeah. And yes, Ilia at 170. That's a weird scenario right there. Like, that is a weird scenario. Not saying he can't put in work at 170, but fuck, he's so short, and no one wants to see Islam cut all that weight. I say, put that fight on ice. Put that fight on ice. UFC Qatar, we have their opponents. UFC Qatar gave Ilia his new opponent, and it gave Islam his new opponent. I mean, that's how you do it. There's basically no debate. Arman deserves the title shot. Unless you're a UFC company man shill. But there is debate for Ian Garry's title shot. Not for me. Not for me. but from the Michael Morales fans. Ilia Arman will be much better, though. I feel like Islam can be chinned a lot easier than Sarukian. We have seen him knocked out by a nobody before, but yeah. Yeah, Arman, it's hard to picture anyone beating Arman. I admit it. It's more unfair for Ilia to fight at 170 than Makhachev at 155. It's more unfair for Ilia to fight at 170 than Makhachev at 155. Yeah, like, I know what you're saying. If Ilia fights Makhachev at 170, the betting odds will definitely make Islam the favorite at 170. No doubt. Islam is going to be the favorite at welterweight. But if that fight happened at 55, we're looking at pretty split down the middle odds. That's a pick'em fight. But yeah, if that fight's at 170, if you had to bet on it, everyone would be picking Islam. I'm just bumping Doughboy's cash out right now. Alright. He's back at it like a bad habit. Back at it like a bad habit. What was I listening to? I was listening to some... I just got done training. I was just doing some training and sparring and rolling. I think they were playing some Bob Marley while I was rolling. They were playing some Disturbed. I was listening to everything today at the gym. I'm back in action. I'm back to training and rolling and sparring. I'm getting back in shape. Not that I'm out of shape, but because Ilia is a balloon featherweight and Makhachev is a real welterweight. Yeah, Ilya's just a hard-hitting little man. He's a hard-hitting little man. No doubt about it. It's crazy that he can even make 170. Isn't that crazy? Remember when Conor went up and fought Nate? He weighed like 168 pounds. Conor couldn't even hit 170 on the dot. And Conor, I imagine, looked bigger than Ilia does. And Conor, when he fought Nate and moved to 170, he was like 168 pounds. Yeah, it's crazy that Ilia can balloon himself like that. But Arman does seem like the bigger fighter than Ilia Topuria. Isn't that crazy? Why does Arman look more stockier than Ilia Topuria? Or am I not seeing it right? Arman looks more built. I'm in my truck parked somewhere right now, smoking a joint. Got music playing. Alright. Where are you at? You in a plaza? I'm parked behind a Walmart right now. Oh, those Walmarts go crazy. I like walking through the Walmarts. I used to live by some real ghetto Walmarts. I mean, that's just nonstop entertainment. At the Walmarts that I used to be by, oh my God, you walk in there and someone's taking something. There's always a scene going on at a fucking Walmart. Let us know if you see anything interesting going on. Ilia isn't even a sizable lightweight. I think it's not a coincidence Makhachev moved up to avoid him and forced Ilia to follow him to 170. I agree. And if you don't agree, look at the history of that team. Look at how Khabib did not fight Tony. I mean, I could make a whole podcast on that, or a whole video on that. Yeah, I get it. Tony pulled out twice. Khabib pulled out 3 times. But come on. Do you guys remember during COVID, Khabib left the country? He went back to Russia or Dagestan. And then Tony ended up fighting Gaethje. Ali Abdelaziz was behind it. So yeah, Ali helped Khabib not fight Tony. He helped Islam not fight Topuria and Arman. Well, I guess Arman did it to himself. But yeah, Ali, I think, is a part of it. You could say Islam didn't fight his biggest challenge, Ilia. And you could argue Khabib didn't fight his biggest challenge, Tony. What I'm saying is I see a pattern here. I see a pattern. I'll never live it down. That's the biggest mistake in MMA history. Not being able to watch Khabib versus Prime Tony, El Kukui. Man, that would have been my favorite fight of all time. I wish I started my channel when that fight was supposed to happen. I mean, I remember breaking down that fight just to all my friends. I was like, the guy with the ground and pound versus the guy who cuts people up. The guy who never bled versus the guy who makes everyone's face into mincemeat. The guy who taps people off his back versus the guy who holds everyone down. Khabib gasses everybody out. Prime Tony never gets gassed out. What a fight that would have been. But yeah, I have a 2018 Ram. What about you? Well, you got the 2018 Ram. All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Right now, I got the 2025 Blazer. 2025 Blazer. What do you think about that? Ilia really makes Team Khabib look scared. Yeah. I mean, think about it. What a horrible style matchup for Islam. Ilia's short. We all seen it. Islam Makhachev has a very hard time taking down short fighters. It's no doubt in my mind. Islam Makhachev struggles to take down short fighters. I truly believe that. They're very hard for Islam to control. They really don't have a neck to squeeze. They're already close to the ground. You know. They're really close to the ground, so it's like hard to even bring them down to the ground. It's hard to get under their hips. Ilia's a nightmare matchup for Islam at 155. Oh, you got a brand new Blazer? That's cool as hell. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No complaints about that. I dig it. How's the 2018 Ram running? I'm sure it's good. You're hotboxing in it right now. The best time to smoke a joint in the car is before the movies. Before you go to AMC. That's the best time. Park up to AMC theaters. Blaze one, then walk straight in. And sneak your snacks in too. Islam is great, but he's very disappointing. He would leave, no question he's the GOAT if he defeats Ilia. But he's scared. I mean, right. Khabib didn't have Tony on his resume. I think that really hurt him. Especially 29-0. That looks ugly as hell. Like, how could you end it on 29-0? What about 30-0? 29 just doesn't sit right with me. It don't sit right with me. I don't know about you guys, but end your fight record on an even number, you know? 29-0, ugly. 30-0, flawless. But yeah, if we're talking about Islam, why not have the bigger deal fight? He played everyone so good. Everyone was so convinced Jack is a bigger Ilia. And now after the fact, we're all saying Ilia's better than Jack. That's what I was saying from the start. I said Ilia's better than Jack. But everyone told me no. JDM is a bigger version of Ilia Topuria. But now I think we're all in agreement. Khabib likes goats, but he's not the GOAT. Yeah, definitely. He's not the GOAT. He has an argument for most dominant while he was fighting, but he's not the GOAT. I love the Ram. It's a V8. I've napped in it so many times. I love napping in it. All right. Spending a lot of time in the car? Well, if you spend a lot of time in the car, you got to love your car. You got like the LED lights in there? Anything custom? Black rims, tinted windows? You customize it at all? Yeah, Khabib's not the GOAT though. I agree, yeah. The GOAT talk is so weird. I've never made a GOAT list video because it always changes. It's just... It's a never-ending cycle. It's like talking in circles. The GOAT list. Dagestan fans worship Khabib. It's so weird. Well, Khabib's like the originator. When you think about them, you think of Khabib. And they all just stem from Khabib. You know? I don't think there'll ever be a bigger name Dagestan fighter than Khabib. Because his name's so easy to say, Khabib, and... Yeah, he's just... He's the perfect poster boy for them. His record... The pressure, yeah. I mean, he was in the lightweight division at the best time. In 2016, 2015, 2016, all the way to 2018. Best time for the lightweight division. Even 2019. That's when that division was really popping. Cowboy was doing great. Tony was there. Connor was there. Gaethje was doing great. Eddie Alvarez was lurking around. What a great division that was. I didn't really customize it. All I did was getting 5% tinted windows, and I got the front windows tinted too. I roll the front windows down when cops are nearby. Let it air out in there, yeah. I have a 2018 Ram 1500 Sport. That's what's up. That's what's up. Seems like you're a big car guy. Alright, alright. Have you needed to put any work in the car? Did it need any fixing, or is it running smoothly? But yeah, the Ram sounds fun, man. Just don't ram into other cars, alright? Don't drive like John Jones. Don't be ramming into other cars now. You should be John Jones's Uber driver, man. He needs one of those. He needs a full-time cab driver. No, I roll the front windows down around police because it's illegal to have the front windows tinted. You get a fine. Is that right? Oh, okay. Well, I think, at least where I'm from, you can have them tinted, but they just can't be pitch black. You can have them tinted somewhat, but yeah. But that's the most that'll happen, a small fine. So it's no big deal getting caught with front tinted windows. Good, good. Yeah, you don't want to put a big spotlight on yourself. I hear you. Ilia's turning to become unreputable. Doesn't even want to fight Paddy or Arman. They need Piera for rescue. I think Ilia wants to fight Paddy for sure. I really do. I think he wants no smoke with Arman. And I can't believe no one's calling it out. That Ilia wasn't there to face off with Arman. The UFC knows what they're doing. They play chess. They purposely put Toporia's brother on the Qatar card. That way, Ilia's there for Arman's fight. It made perfect sense. Why wouldn't Ilia Topuria stay and play and have a face-off with Arman? He faced off with Paddy. Arman wins. And you don't have a face-off with the #1 contender? In your weight division? I'm sorry. Conor McGregor's a nutcase, but maybe he should promote the UFC. He for sure would have made the champion face off with the #1 contender. What the fuck is the UFC doing? I thought you guys are a sport entertainment industry. Where was the entertainment? Where was the face off? That would have been so hyped. Ilia walks in there, faces off with Arman, has a stare down. Man, we'd all be talking about that right now. Yeah, mine are pitch black. Oh, yeah. They're tinted beyond. They're tinted beyond the normal tint. But yeah, I should customize my truck. But I haven't done anything to it besides get the windows tinted. It's a great truck. That's what's up. Trucks are the most useful, man. If it's good gas mileage, you know, trucks, you can lug everything. You can help move people. You can do it all. I think everyone needs a truck. You feel like you own the road when you're driving. You feel like you can just run over all the cars around you. If you want to feel like you own the road, that's the move. But yeah, I think Ilia and Arman should have faced off. That's the biggest title fight right now. I think that's a bigger fight than Islam Garry, to be honest. But yeah, your truck right now, it's probably cloudier than a motherfucker in there. It's probably like a steam room if you're still puffing. A truck is very important. If you need a 100-inch TV, you're kind of fucked. Yeah. Hey, you're all set for Christmas shopping. Just throw it in the back of the truck. Yeah, you can haul anything, man. Perfect for road trips, vacations. You're good. I just hate the trucks in front of me that don't cover up. Or if they don't have the bed of the truck closed and you're driving behind them and you're like, oh shit. Everything from the bed of their truck is going to fall right in front of me. I was driving to Florida once and some idiot in his truck dropped all his sheet metal. Fell out of the bed of his truck and we ran it over. I don't drive behind anyone with the bed of their trunk open or their truck. Do you think Jones still fights Aspinall? Because Dana is hinting that Jones can only fight Aspinall and not Pereira for the White House. Absolutely not. There is no way that John Jones fights Aspinall. John Jones doesn't ever want to fight again. The only reason he wants to fight is because he wants to be on the White House card. Probably because he thinks he'll get more passes with breaking the law if he becomes friends with the White House. You know, he probably just wants more leeway to break the law. That's why he wants to fight on the White House card. And I think the only opponent he'll fight is Pereira. Or Pereira. Pereira. I won't say it like Chael Sonnen does. Pereira. No way Jones fights Aspinall. Do you think Ilia has the best KO power at lightweight? Absolutely. No question in my mind. I think he hits harder than Gaethje. Gaethje would be the only close second. I truly believe Ilia hits the hardest, yeah. And I would say Gaethje might be the second. Yeah, I have a blanket on me right now and smoking. Oh yeah, it must be cold over there. I finished the do, but yeah, just about to drive home. My house is very nearby. Don't forget to pick yourself something up from Walmart, man. Don't just go to Walmart for nothing. Do a little shopping. I think Jones would have submitted Aspinall. He's good at submissions, but I've never seen John Jones fight anyone that heavy. I've never seen John Jones fight any true huge heavyweight besides Cyril Gane, but we all know how weird that fight was. I can't picture Jones taking down Mr. Incredible. I just can't. He's used to fighting middleweights, it seems like, you know? If he couldn't take down Prime Dominic Reyes, I don't think he's taking down Prime Aspinall. Do you own a gun, brother? Yeah. Yes. I'm not Bryce Mitchell level here, but yes. It is legal, yes. Where I'm from, yes. Yes, sir. I'm not on Bryce's level, but yeah. I think he might be stupid not to, you know? I think anyone who's mentally sane, anyone who's sane and mentally okay upstairs should have one. You know, I think you should have to go through like a mental health test or a mental wellness check before you do get one. But yeah, I definitely support carrying. You know, yeah, definitely. Just like Bryce. Man, did you guys see Bryce's farm tour? He was showing the schmo, all his ammo, and all his collections, his pocket knife collections and all that shit. That was pretty cool. Bryce showed the schmo, like, all his weaponry. I was like, whoa, damn. Damn. All right, Bryce. I think Bryce even showed his weaponry to Ariel Helwani on his podcast. Hasn't been allowed on since. Now I know Canada has some laws where, you know, it makes it tough to do that, huh? It's very hard to carry in Canada. I know that. Very tough. Bryce Mitchell is weird though, honestly. Maybe he explains things a little oddly, but, you know, I think deep down Bryce is a good guy. He's a good guy. He's public enemy number one, but a good public enemy number one. I'm going to go rip it home quickly, but I'll be listening to the stream in the background while driving. A few minutes away from home. All right, man. All right, enjoy the ride. Drive smooth. I think Bryce is playing a character. If Bryce is playing a character, then everyone you've ever seen on any camera is playing a character. He seems to me the most real out of anyone. I mean, that guy was willing to get fired. That guy's willing to lose his job. That guy's willing to get death threats to say what he truly believes. That guy's willing to cut ties with every sponsor just to promote his beliefs, you know? No, Bryce, I don't think so. I think Bryce is the realest one in the UFC. Or he's playing it up. I don't see it. I see a real one when I see Bryce. I see a real one. I don't think anyone would miss out on all that money. Most people play characters to benefit their career. So fucking baked right now, holy. Drive smooth. There must have been some good stuff. So he's just kind of dumb. Maybe people, I mean, like if you just look at him for who he is, I don't think he's dumb, but you could maybe argue it's dumb for him to miss out on all his sponsors, or, you know, I don't know. I like Bryce. I don't see nothing wrong with Bryce. As long as you're not a company, man, you're okay in my book. What up, Meech? Just saw you were live. What I missed so far in the live? Oh, I just joined, man. We're talking about cars. We're talking about tinted windows. We're talking about Ram trucks. We're talking about concealed carry. We're talking about it all. I like him though, but bro's kind of schizo, but I respect it. Yeah, maybe he explains things like 100 miles an hour. Sometimes you gotta leave people breadcrumbs. Sometimes Bryce just hits you with the truth just out of nowhere. I think Bryce needs to leave breadcrumbs and then hit you with his point. But Bryce is just full throttle, you know, pedal to the metal. But yeah, maybe he should just drop breadcrumbs before he gets to his actual point, you know? But I think he means well. He just wants the government to stay out of his business. He just wants to sell his own product, his own beef, his own milk. He just wants his own privacy. Can you do a brief recap of the UFC stuff you talked about so far? Yeah. So the big drama was Ian Garry versus Khamzat. And I got a lot of hate in my take on it. I said, Ian Garry touching Khamzat on the shoulder saying congrats is no big deal. Arman didn't mind. I don't know why Khamzat had a temper tantrum, but everyone said Khamzat was in the right. Either way, it was entertaining. I mean, either way you look at it, it was an entertaining video. But yeah, I'm actually siding with Ian Garry for the first time in my life. Can't believe it. I'm in shock. Ilia, our Georgian Spanish champ, I believe he's ducking the #1 contender, or he doesn't want to fight him. He would rather fight Paddy. But most of the MMA world thinks that he is 100% down to fight Arman. I hope they're right. I hope I'm wrong. I think he's going to fight the guy with the baby haircut, the Beetle haircut, Paddy Pimblett. I like Paddy, but I hope the UFC doesn't give him privilege. And then we have one last pay-per-view of the year. There's only one pay-per-view left before the Paramount Plus subscription. No one will ever, not like anyone's buying pay-per-views, but no one will ever have to buy a pay-per-view again unless they do a one-off for the White House card. And I'm still deciding. I still can't tell if UFC 323 is a good pay-per-view or not. It is. I think it just needs maybe one more thing. I think it's just missing something. I can't put my finger on it. It's missing. It needs one more #1 contender fight, I think. And then we're looking at a good pay-per-view to end the year with. This is the last pay-per-view. They should really end it with a bang, A big bang. I don't know what they got to do to spice it up. Fuck it. I don't know. Something. Put Salsa Boy on there. I don't know. Something. Just needs one more thing. I like Bryce Mitchell flat earth comments. That's based in my opinion. But the Christian stuff, I don't know. I agree with you that that's based. That's based. I mean, Bryce doesn't trust NASA and Bill Nye the Science Guy and scientists, A lot of scientists aren't scientists. A lot of them are paid off actors. A lot of these scientists are paid off actors. And the NASA's logo does have a serpent's tongue over it. So, you shouldn't trust anything with a serpent's tongue in the logo. But the Christian stuff, I don't know. I agree with Bryce on that too. I agree with Bryce on that. I like his Christian stuff. I do. He says it in a cool way. His post-fight speech about he's armed with the blood of Christ and the shield of faith, that was badass. And his thing, I like it. I dig it. NASA are my ops. Yeah. Every picture they've ever posted is CGI'd. Every picture they post is CGI. Or it's not what you think it is. Can you go over the expected card? Merab versus Piotr Yan. Merab Dvalishvili versus Piotr Yan, main event. Alexandre Pantoja. Pantoja versus Joshua Van. Joshua Van is only 24 years old and he's fighting for a belt. And this guy's got hands. Max Holloway. I look at Joshua Van as the mini Max Holloway. I'm telling you. Watch Joshua Van. And he really resembles Max Holloway. He has the same fight style. Maybe he has more power for his size. Josh Van. But if you like Max Holloway, you're definitely going to love Joshua Van. He fights just like him. But he's got even more power for his size. Then we got Brandon Moreno. The UFC's favorite Mexican fighter, it seems like. He's fighting a Japanese fighter. You know, so we got Mexico versus Japan. I like it. We got Henry Cejudo versus Peyton Tabit. This just seems like a fruitcake fight. Peyton Tabit. This guy, I mean, I heard rumors he's dating Frank Ocean. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We just had Michael Morales on the last pay-per-view. Now we got Peyton Tabit. Who's next? Who's on the next card? John Jones? I hope Henry Cejudo. I don't care who wins, Henry Cejudo or Peyton Tabit. That's an interesting fight. And then we got Polish Power, Jan Blachowicz fighting Bogdan Guskov. And hey, Bogdan Guskov, that could very well be Anthony Smith in disguise. Take a good look at Bogdan Guskov. Are we sure Anthony Smith is retired? Or is he secretly posing as another fighter? Take a good look at Bogdan Guskov. I see Anthony Smith. Glad you're against the science agenda, bro. Thank you. There's science and then there's scientism. Oh, he added the tism to it. Oh, man. Yes, there is. Sounds like a fun one. It should be fun. And that's just the main card. Peyton Tabit pole dances with his mom. Maybe you can hang out with Michael Morales. Yeah, Peyton Tabit and Michael Morales could be buddy-buddy. They'd be great friends. Tabit and Michael Morales. They can go to parades together. They would have a whale of a time. The prelims are stacked on this card, though. Manuel Torres, Terrence McKinney, Faraz Ziam from France, Marvin Vettori, Barboza, Turner. I like the prelims. No, that's Mr. Clean's son. Does it look like Mr. Clean's son? First time I'm ever rooting for Cejudo. Can't root for Tabit ever. I agree. Yeah, I'm rooting for Cejudo. He's more funny. Yeah. He's a funny guy. I don't always agree with his takes, but yeah, he always seems like he's stoned on the Usman podcast. Oh yeah, Bogdan Guskov does look like Mr. Clean's son. And he also looks like Anthony Smith. I mean, shit. Same division, right? Tabit is Adesanya level of gay. Even more. Maybe even more. He's probably less gay, but... He's probably more gay, but less cringy. But yeah, you know, they're in a similar bracket. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's not you. My bad, Triple M. I mean, Bogdan Guskov, yeah, he looks like a lot of people. He looks like a plain blank avatar. Like on a video game where you got to create your avatar, he looks like the starting blank version of one. Oh, man. But yeah, I'm trying to look at the underrated bangers on 323. It's a great card. It is. It's like, there's just going to be no drama. I know not everyone cares about drama and press conferences, but if you're looking for anyone to stir the pot, there's no one on this card that's going to stir the pot, you know. There's not going to be like a viral press conference moment. No one's going to shove each other or headbutt each other at the weigh-ins on this card. These are all very respectable fighters. The only one who might be up to some funny business is Henry Cejudo, Triple C. They should have used him to be the new Toxic Avenger. Yeah. Yeah, he could play that role. Fighters are in movies all the time. He does look like him. Just paint him green a little bit. Yeah, just paint him green a little bit. He's got movie roles after this. Bogdan Guskov. What was that one movie I watched not too long ago? It was like Usman and Gaethje were in it. I was like, what the fuck? Kamaru Usman and Justin Gaethje were in a movie not too long ago. They like faced off in the octagon and all that shit. I feel like almost every fighter's involved in movies and shit. Most of them. I say save the movies for after retirement. Wait till after retirement. We all know what happened to Ronda and Conor. Don't go Hollywood during your fight career. If you're in the fight business, don't go to the show business. You know? I really love Jan and Guskov, but I have to go with Jan. He's my favorite. Polish Power, baby, yes. Polish Power. Naked Gun, yes. Guys, watch Naked Gun. Watch Naked Gun. Justin Gaethje and Usman are in it. And then the movie's hosted like, there's a scene where they're at a UFC fight. Yeah, guys, watch Naked Gun because there's this scene where they're at a UFC fight. Bruce Buffer's in it. And then Justin Gaethje and Kamaru Usman are about to fight in the octagon. And then this evil elite man turns on like this radar. He turns on the frequency. He turns on some type of frequency and it affects everyone in the arena. It makes them go crazy and everyone starts fighting each other in the arena. It was almost like Dylan Dennis versus Team Habib, you know. Watch Naked Gun. I didn't even know Usman and Justin Gaethje were in it. I was at the movies. I'm like, what the fuck? I had no idea about this. Alright, I'm back in my dungeon. Way too baked right now. Way too baked. Can't wait for Piotr Jan's title shot. Super amp. Oh, you're in the dungeon? Are you in a dungeon like MMA Guru? Are you in the shed or what? Or you just call it the dungeon? Hey, a joint. If you face a joint by yourself, it'll do that to you. Can't wait for Piotr Jan's title shot. Super amped. I think Jan has a better shot than what people are saying. I kind of want Jan to win. You know. I think it was fun while it lasted. While Merab was champ, but I think we need to switch the tides at bantamweight. I like how active he is. I do. But I don't know what it is. Bantamweight's not as exciting as it was before Merab. Usman and custom gay chicks. I live in an actual home. I was just messing. Oh yeah, I know. I mean Justin Gaethje. Usman and Justin Gaethje, yeah. Yeah, they're in Naked Gun. Check out that movie. It's not bad. They literally recreate a UFC brawl like we saw with Team Habib and Dylan Dennis, you know? Bruce Buffer's in it, Gaethje's in it, Usman's in it. Caught me off guard. I was baked when I watched that movie. Can you think of a more fun fight build-up than Sterling Jan 2? That whole storyline is absolutely bananas. The stakes were nuts. Are you talking... Oh, because Sterling got kneed and tried to be a Hollywood actor after the illegal knee? Yeah, I could definitely think of tons of fights with a better storyline than Jan versus Sterling number 2. Tons. How much time you got? Ferguson versus Habib? Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva? John Jones versus Daniel Cormier? Conor versus Habib? Conor versus anybody? Conor versus Aldo? Mendez? A better fight build-up than Jan versus Sterling 2. Stipe versus DC? Number 2? That was a big build-up. Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal? Not that Nate and Masvidal were talking trash, but I was hyped for that. Tons of good build-ups that I remember in the past. Sterling versus Yan 2. Sterling versus Yan 2 was different because it was like whoever loses is going to look so bad. Definitely, definitely. You know what would have been a great build-up is Lopez versus Rodriguez. I'm going to have to make a video on that pretty soon. Biggest fights that didn't happen in 2025. Aspinall versus Jones was turning out to be a good build-up, but it never happened. What else? What else? Izzy and Pierre was pretty cool, but yeah. I think Leon Edwards versus Masvidal back in, Masvidal's prime would have been a crazy build-up. I think Masvidal messed up going for the title fight against Usman. He should have fought Leon Edwards. That would have been nuts. Oh, yeah, Strickland versus Izzy. Strickland Chimaev would be a circus build-up too. Yeah, it would. Yes. Strickland's lucky that Khamzat's champ because there would be no reason to have Strickland in another title fight unless it's against Chimaev because of all the shit he said. You know? Yeah. Strickland Chimaev would be a good build-up. That'd be one of those fights where the press conference is better than the fight. For sure. There's been so many good build-ups over the years. Remember when Max Holloway was stepping in on short notice against Khabib? But the doctors pulled him out last second. That was a crazy build-up. Watch that Max Holloway versus Khabib press conference. That was a crazy build-up, even though the fight never happened. I was hyped for... You know what? Tony Ferguson was supposed to fight Max Holloway for the interim lightweight belt back in 2019 on that Izzy Adesanya Kelvin Gastelum card. Poirier ended up fighting Max Holloway, but it was supposed to be Max Holloway versus Tony Ferguson for the interim lightweight belt for that fight. That would have been a crazy build-up. Tony versus Max, that would have been nuts. Because they both have the same tattoos and get mistaken for each other. Cardio machines. I was looking forward to that fight. But Tony had some issues going on. But I think the best build-up of all time, besides the Prime McGregor fight, would have been Tony Khabib. Tony Khabib was the best build-up. Rodriguez made sure to show that cast on his arm when they showed him in the crowd. Really? Rodriguez was showing a cast on his arm when they showed him in the crowd? What, to avoid Diego Lopez? What the fuck's going on in that featherweight division, by the way? This is actually the second most stacked division. You just reminded me. Welterweight's the most stacked, but why is featherweight ghost town? Look how stacked it is. This is the second most stacked division in the UFC. Volk hasn't fought since April. Same with Yair. What the fuck's going on with the matchmaking at featherweight? Like, I'm going to lose my mind. Volk should have been fought Masvidal or Murphy by now. Why hasn't Volk's fight been announced yet? He should be fighting Masvidal or Murphy. It's probably too late for a Masvidal fight. Why didn't they book the Murphy fight? Lopez versus Rodriguez. And then, I mean, come on. You can do... What else? What else? The featherweight division needs to get moving. No matter how you slice it, let's get Volk a fight. Ilia's ex gonna be watching on a 100-inch TV, rooting for Arman or Sarukian. Man, Ilia. I mean, Ilia's. What happened? Oh yeah, I forgot. I think I know the story. Ilia was trying to be like Conor McGregor, but it didn't work out. Interesting. Interesting. Ian Garry's still with his gal, but Ilia Topuria isn't with his. And people were talking shit about when people were saying, hey, you can't find a girl in Miami. Hey, maybe there's some truth to that. What do they got to say now? People were saying how disrespectful it was to say that to Topuria. But, you know, maybe they were right. You know what would have been the best fight build-up? One of the best fight build-ups? Francis Ngannou, back in 2021 when he was champ, versus Jon Jones. That would have been the fucking fight. Imagine the build-up. You know how I was going to promote that fight? I said, Francis Ngannou hits like a Ford Escort, but Jon Jones hits you with the Ford Escort. Sold. Right there. Sold. I know this is... Yeah, I'm going back to that question. You know what else would have been a good build-up? DC versus Lesnar. That would have been a good build-up. Rodriguez even got a custom interim belt. Yeah. Didn't Rodriguez fight Josh Emmett for the fucking interim belt in Australia? He was co-main event to Volk Islam Makhachev. I remember that. Why was that even an interim title fight? What a joke. That was not even a real... No one even considered Rodriguez a champion. Yeah, that was a weird one. I forgot that was even for an interim belt. That was kind of ridiculous. Ridiculous shit. Yeah, we need good build-ups going into 2026. Come on. They should let me in the UFC press conferences. I'll ask some good questions. Like, what do we get at the press conferences nowadays? Non-English questions, 5 in a row for Michael Morales? Rodriguez doesn't even deserve to fight Lopez at this point. You're right, he doesn't. But I want to see it. He doesn't. But guess what? I want to see it. I need some entertainment. We need this. It's already sold. I want to see Yair Rodriguez lose his mind. You know, I want to see him throw a temper tantrum like Khamzat in the hallways. I mean, why is the UFC putting their second most stacked division on ice right now? Let's book Volk versus Murphy. Put Lopez. Lopez can fight Masvidal again or Yair. I don't care. Put Lopez versus Masvidal or Yair. Pick your poison. And then Aljo can get the remaining fighter, whoever's left. Honestly, you could even do Yusuf Zalal versus Aljo. That would be a good fight. Who's your favorite female fighter? My favorite female fighter? Like a ranked one? Let me see. This might be a trick question for me. It used to be Shevchenko when she was exciting, but she's boring as hell now. My favorite female fighter. Man, that's a trick question. That's a trick question. Nobody. Wait, let me give you an answer. My favorite female fighter would be Titi Adesanya. For sure. But, I mean, back in the day, obviously, you know, Ronda was like the big star, but Yeah, I would say Titty Adesanya. Colors on that belt look like an LGBT belt. The UFC belt? What belt? Oh, the interim? Yair's interim belt? For me, it's Valentina and Aaron. No one else, really. Yeah, there's no one else. There's no one else. I don't know what the UFC created here. I mean, I get it. Ronda was a huge deal. But after Ronda left, I think the whole women's roster should have just left with her. It used to, you know who my favorite female fighter used to be? Miesha Tate. That's who my favorite female fighter used to be. You know, after Ronda and Miesha Tate, the women's divisions became useless. Norma's a savage, though. There's some savages out there, but yeah, I'm so sick of the placement they're putting the female fights on. I'm so sick of the placements of them. Like, would you rather have... I would rather have a retired Dustin Poirier on my co-main event than a female titled fight. I would rather have old man retired Nate Diaz on my co-main event on a fight card than a female title fight. I'm serious. I'd rather have 40-year-old Nate Diaz out of retirement in my co-main event than a female title fight. I like Jillian Robertson. She's a beast on the ground. You know what? Right now, I guess my favorite would be from PFL, Dakota. I would say Dakota would be my favorite right now from PFL. Who do you think Volk is fighting next? Well, if the UFC doesn't want me to bang my head against the table 1,000 times, it should be Murphy. But who is the UFC going to choose? They're probably going to go with the dumbest option. I could see him doing a Diego Lopez rematch. I could see them doing a Diego Lopez rematch. They're going to go with the dumbest option. I think it should have been Masvidal, but UFC fucked up. That ship sailed. It should be Murphy, but my prediction is UFC is going to choose Lopez again, which is stupid. You watch PFL? No, but since there's not really anything going on over there, the talk of the town is that female fighter, Dakota. Heard a lot about her. Volk versus Evloev, let's do it. I was hyped for that fight a few months ago. I mean, you could give it to Evloev. Why not? He is #1 contender, but why do I want to see Murphy more? I feel like Volk can handle wrestlers. I feel like Volk can do a really good job against Masvidal. I think it should be up to Volk. Who would Volk rather have on his resume, Masvidal or Murphy? He just needs something new. I bet the UFC is going to go with the Lopez rematch. It's going to piss me off. Not because I don't like Diego Lopez, but I just seen that shit. We're giving Yair a title shot, and then that idea just vanished. Remember we were giving... Yeah. I think we bullied the UFC out of that. I like the Mexican fighters, but stop shoving fighters down our throats. UFC wants the Mexican fan base so bad, but in reality, most of them are boxing fans, you know? Most of the time. Unless, you know, like that poster I have behind me when Nate Diaz fought Masvidal. They had to put that Canelo Alvarez fight on hold. I think it should be Volk, Murphy, Lopez Rodriguez. I mean, and then, yeah, maybe a Masvidal. I don't know. Yeah. Let's get this division moving. Give Volk someone new and then start booking everybody. What's the hold up here? Where is Gene Silva on the rankings? Gene Silva's only 11? Does that seem right? Norma lost last fight, and I still give it to her because of a dump truck. Hey, we were just talking about trucks. Speaking of trucks, yeah, I hear ya. Yeah, give it to the fighter with the dump truck. I just want to see Aspinall versus Gane already. That's what the UFC should have done. They should have booked it for 323. They should have paid for the best laser eye surgeon for Aspinall and rebooked that fight for 323. Now that is how you end the year with a bang. I'm talking 3 title fights. Aspinall, Merab, and Pantoja. Now that's how you end the fucking year. That's what 323's missing. You nailed it. You nailed it. They should have put Aspinall Gane on there. The rematch. Imagine how much bigger this card would be. 3 title fights to end the year. Last pay-per-view of the year. Let's fucking do it. Is it too late? Is it too late for that? Let's get it going. There's no way Gane and Aspinall are out of shape already. There's no way they're out of shape already. Come on. Surprise me, UFC. Tell me that Aspinall versus Gane 2 is going to be on 323. And you guys are going to announce it very soon. Please tell me that's the case. The girls need to look good and fight good. Well, most of them are doing neither of those. I mean, we got fucking Kayla Harrison, Brock Lesnar for champion. Maybe Gane delayed it because he knows this title fight is locked in and it can't be stopped. Tom was probably ready to go. Well, shit. If the UFC is going to have control over their fighters and have a leash on them so fucking much, I feel like the UFC shouldn't have all this PC control on their fighters. The control that they need to have over their fighters is the fucking activity in the matchmaking. You should fight who you're told to fight and when. And if you don't, alright, we'll see you on the Apex card soon. Like, how do fighters have all this power to just sit out? It's crazy. If UFC has so much control of their fighters, which they do, why not put it to good use? They should put all that fucking control to good use, you know? But yeah, guys, I figured it out. Featherweight is the second most stacked division. It really is. My former favorite division, lightweight. I don't know, it's not it anymore. It's not it. It's not the division anymore. It's not what it once was. Dakota just signed a 4-year extension with PFL. And she couldn't even take out the little Japanese girl she fought last. Damn, that's tough. That's tough. What the fuck? That's a tough sign right there. 4 years. Damn. Well, hey, maybe she wants that. Maybe it's better bucks. I bet she gets treated better over there. Do Lopez versus Murphy. Never thought about that one. Interesting. I feel like I'd rather see Lopez rematch Masvar or fight Yair, though. And I would rather see Murphy fight Aljo or for the belt. That's just my 2 cents. I'm surprised Gene Silva's ranked so low. I mean, he put on a hell of a scrap versus Diego. I know Lopez won, but still. Gene Silva, he should be ranked higher than fucking Ortega and Josh Emmett. Come on. What's up with these rankings? I know Gene Silva beat Bryce and then lost to Lopez, but judging how he fought, he should be ranked higher than Josh Emmett, who got armbarred in 1 second. And he should be ranked higher than Ortega, who can't even make weight. What's going on here? What's going What are the biggest fights for 2026? What do you guys think? What are the blockbuster fights we need to see? They don't just have to be title fights. I want to see Holloway fight Charles for the BMF. That's a great fight. Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. I like that fight. Maybe Bilal versus Usman. I think that fight's still on the table. Bilal versus Usman. What else? What else? What are some blockbuster fights 2026? Yuri versus Magomed. Any Yuri fight's great. I want to see O'Malley fight Corey Sandhagen. Come on, let's get it going. Why the fuck isn't O'Malley fighting? What's going on here? Wait. O'Malley hasn't fought since 316? Or, yeah, 316. Are you fucking kidding me? O'Malley, what's the holdup, bro? Let's get you versus Corey Sandhagen cooking right now. What's going on here? I want O'Malley versus Corey Sandhagen early next year. And let's get Brendan Allen versus Dricus. That's what I'm talking about. Middleweight, middleweight. Let's get Brendan Allen versus Dricus. Let's get it going. I like that fight. Sup? What up, what up? We're just talking about the blockbuster fights. PFL. Volk's next fight. The featherweight division's not moving. What the fuck's going on? Where's O'Malley? Talking about 323. You think that's a good card? And we're talking about Arman versus Ilia, which I don't think's going to happen. I think Ilia is showing no signs that he wants to fight Arman. I've never wanted to be more wrong in my life. But people seriously think Ilia's not ducking Arman. But if he's not, why isn't he tweeting, give me Arman, give me Arman, give me Arman? 323 is good, yeah. What's your favorite non-title fight on 323? But yeah, it's got names. It's got names. I think we should put Salsa Boy versus what's his name? Volkov on there. That'd be a great fight. Salsa Boy versus Volkov? Why don't we put that on there? That'd be cool. This is a good card. I think I'm giving it really high expectations because this is the last pay-per-view potentially ever. Maybe the White House card will be a one-off, but this could be the last pay-per-view ever. So, like, my expectations are, like, through the roof. I think we need Salsa Boy versus Volkov on there, or Aspinall Gane rematch. Give me one more on there. One more banger fight. I'll be satisfied. But yeah, what's the best fight that's a non-title fight on this card? I know people like Cejudo Tabit. I think you're going to say Cejudo Tabit. I would say 323 is a fight card for the hardcores, if you know what I mean. Like, this is for the hardcore fans. Like, if someone's new to watching MMA or UFC, I don't know if they're going to find their favorite fighter on this card. Maybe Josh Van, if he wins. Like, it's a great card for the hardcores, you know? Oh, yeah, and about that, about Khamzat. Did you guys hear Khamzat? He last fought in August. I think he's gonna not fight for like 10 months. I heard he's not coming back till late spring. You know what? I hate to say it, but I think Dean Thomas was right. You're missing messages. The fucking computer chat ain't showing me all the messages. Cejudo versus Tabit. I knew it. I knew it. Cejudo versus Tabit. Yeah, that's probably the most eye-drawing fight on the main card of 323. Yep. I agree. Yeah, I don't know why YouTube hides some messages, but I get more of them when I look on my phone chat. Yeah, Cejudo versus Tabit. That's interesting. Hopefully Cejudo's taking it serious and he's not just fighting for the paycheck. I don't want to see him only fight for the paycheck. James Lynch is saying at the beginning of Paramount is not looking good. Oh, no. Please, no. Let's not recreate 2025. Let's not recreate 2025. Why is he saying that? I swear, if Paddy Pimblett doesn't fight soon, I'm done with Paddy Pimblett. If Paddy Pimblett gets a title shot, I don't know. I hope all the fans turn on him if he gets a title fight. Like Ariel was trying to promote that shit. Ariel's like, I think Paddy should fight Ilia in January and Arman gets winner. No. F off with that. I wonder why James Lynch is saying that. What, he got a sneak peek of the fight cards? What, are they just all women's fights top to bottom? I wonder what he saw. A bunch of NPCs on the early Paramount fight cards? What's going on here? James Lynch saying Topuria is not fighting at the beginning of Paramount. Of course he's not. Of course he's not. Why would he? Why would Topuria fight? What a waste of potential. What a waste of star power. For real. What a waste. Ilia could be such a star. Does no one know how to capitalize on their star power besides Alex Pereira? Are you a movie guy? Not particularly, no, but when people put me onto a good movie, I watch it. I just don't really find them myself. But if people put me onto something, I'll check it out. But odds are, if you ask me if I've seen this movie or that movie, I'm going to be like, no. But I'll say, hey, I'll watch it. I'll give it a watch. Ilia Topuria, man, you're wasting your star power. You're wasting your potential. This is bullshit. What are your most favorite movies? Movies. Well, I mean, action movies. I always liked Expendables and all that shit. Yeah, I like actions, comedies. I used to like horror movies, but I like actions and comedies way better now. I can't even remember the last good movie. I feel like after COVID, movies just fucking took a downward spiral. Where's all the creativity in the movies after COVID? I feel like What the fuck's going on? I feel like movies were way better before 2020. I feel like they took a hit after the scandemic. But I've been watching more shows than movies lately. I've been watching more shows, you know? What are your favorite movies? Put me on to some good ones. I always used to watch the stoner movies and shit, you know. All the classic stoner movies, love them. If you haven't watched it already, you should watch The Thing, 1982. It's on YouTube for free. Alright, I'll watch it. Is it mystery? Like Get Out? That was a crazy movie when it came out. Get Out. Is it mystery? Is it what? Action? But yeah, I've been watching more shows than movies lately. Best horror movie of all time. Really? Oh shit. Alright. Damn, alright. I'll try not to get scared. I'll watch it. It's not super scary though, but it's very well made. I dig it, alright. The Thing. The Thing. What was that one horror movie I watched? It was so fucking weird. Did you guys ever see Hereditary? What a weird fucking movie. Hereditary? That's a horror movie. That one is fucking creepy. Lots of ambiguity. If you like that kind of stuff. It's also actually considered to be one of the best movies of all time. Alright. Seen it as a kid. Ending theme creeped me out. Yeah, it's got a good theme. Alright, alright. I'll have to roll one up and watch it. Holloway has slow mode chat turned on in his Kick live streams. So I was able to talk to him a few times. And he's always been my #1 favorite fighter, day one. Oh yeah, Holloway. Are you kidding me? Max Holloway? Let's see here. Let's see here. Speaking of Max Holloway, there's me and Max. We fought. I fought Max Holloway, guys. You see that? I got to face off with one of my favorite fighters. That was awesome. I see an interim belt soon. If Ilia doesn't fight soon, I'm done with the guy then. If he doesn't fight soon, I'm done with the guy. I've seen Hereditary. Wasn't a huge fan of it though. Yeah, I agree. It was a little too weird. John Carpenter's movie They Live. I come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Legendary quote. Legendary quote. Max just went live on Kick like a few minutes ago as well. Oh yeah, he's always gaming, right? He's always gaming, huh? Does he have good streams? I'm sure he's not pulling like DJ Demetrius Johnson type of views. Isn't DJ on Kick as well, or is it just Rampage Jackson? I know Rampage does it. Max, okay. Lots of fighters are gamers, I guess, right? I wonder who the biggest gamers are. Max, DJ, Rampage. Max Blessed Holloway. The man. I think he can put up a good fight against Ilia at 55. I think he would do better against Ilia at 55. He did all right at 45. Man, I wish Max didn't drop down and fight Ilia at 45. I wish he didn't. I wish after 300, when Max knocked out Gaethje, I wish he stayed at lightweight. What do you think are the most overrated movies? I don't know, maybe most overrated movies? Maybe Fast and Furious? Haven't seen They Live. I'll have to watch that sometime. Me too. There's two Things movies, one from the 80s, one from 2011. The new one is the prequel. You know what movie I really liked? It's an older one, but I really loved Zombieland. Zombieland was a gem when it came out. In hindsight, he should have never gone down because Ilia ended up coming up to lightweight anyway. Exactly. I feel like the UFC forced him to do that. But it was his dream to win that featherweight title back. It is what it is. I have a hard time believing it was his dream to win that belt back at featherweight. I feel like he did the UFC a solid. I really do. Killer Clowns from Underground. I mean outer space. The 1982 one is the good one. The one from 2011 sucks. Have you seen that Joker movie from 2019? That movie was super overrated. Yes, I agree, yeah. There's a lot better Jokers. I agree. All right. Last stream we were talking music, now we're talking movies. I dig it. Like I said, yeah, I haven't seen every movie out there, so I'll definitely jot these ones down in my notes. I'll let you guys know which ones I think are the best. Wax on, wax off. You're buying that vampire crab in 2026? Hey, once I get thousands of subs, first thing I'm buying is a vampire crab. You guys ever seen that horror movie Piranha? What a fucking weird movie. There's a horror movie called Piranha. It's fucking weird. You've seen that movie? Why do you think it was overrated? I'm curious what you think. Just because my friend Alec, AJ Manx, he's put me on to, tons of better Joker stuff. I've seen better movies with the Joker. It doesn't totally suck. 2011 movie comes first. It's the prequel. Yeah, that movie is so fucked. In my opinion, there's no tension in the 2011 one, and the writing isn't very good. Watched it as a kid. Alright. The 80s it is. The 80s one was the best, it looks like. The Live isn't a movie, it's a documentary. Rodney Piper even said so. Oh, it's a documentary. Huh. I don't mind documentaries here and there. I'm guessing no one gives a shit about that new Happy Gilmore movie that dropped. That must have been a dud, huh? With Sandler and Eminem. When I'm thinking of like classic movies in my head, like Pineapple Express was cool. James Franco, Seth Rogen, that was a cool one. I'm glad he didn't like the 2019 Joker movie. So many people talk about it like it's some masterpiece with deep meaning. They just must really love the Joker. Maybe anything with the Joker, some people will freak out about, as long as it has the Joker in it. Who's your favorite other MMA content creator, or the few you like? Well, obviously, the main one is Guru. He's the first one I've ever watched. But besides MMA Guru, my favorite MMA content creator. There's some good ones. I feel like... Who's the other good ones? I don't mind Bedtime's bingo card picks. I think that's a cool idea, the bingo stuff. Never really watched too much Lucas GOAT list and stuff, but sometimes his stuff is alright. I think Guru's the best, for sure. And then I just pick and choose the other ones. Like, I'll watch Bedtime's bingo predictions here and there. I'll watch... There's some other alright fighter guys. I don't watch all his stuff, but that Jake Gerber guy, he's alright, I guess. I think he knows some stuff. It was lazily written, though. Oh, that's your favorite movie, Pineapple Express? I love that. It was lazily written, though. Like, most of the movie is bad stuff happening to the guy who becomes the Joker. And it becomes almost comical. I hear ya. I hate lazily written shit. I hate it. Guru just dropped a banger, too, right now, about Ian, chimaev, Arman, Ilia. Really? Really? That's the hot topic right now. That's good stuff to talk about. I'll definitely check it out later. I want to hear his take on it because no one agrees with me that Ian Garry did nothing wrong. I guess Ian Garry touching someone's shoulder is criminal. It's criminal. How dare Ian Garry touch someone on the shoulder and say congrats? I'll check it out after your stream. Your channel isn't the place if you're a fan of MMA Joey, right? Oh my god. I feel bad for that guy. His videos are just so pathetic. It's just... Wow. Wow. The bias. The complaining. He uses phobic. He can't go 2 minutes without saying the word phobic. Someone's phobic. You know? I don't think he has the personality that you need to drop bangers. The Arrival is a good movie. Are you talking about Arrival 2016? Arrival with Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen, oh my god. That must be interesting. There's a movie from 2016 called Arrival. It's very good. Alright, alright. Have you seen Interstellar? I wasn't a huge fan of that. I have not seen Interstellar. Used to be a fan of Joey, and yeah, he's so negative. It's like he's just digging his own grave. He doesn't have to fucking only make his channel about Muslims. Like, I don't know if he has an MMA channel or a Muslim channel. Stand By Me is a classic. All the best movies are from the 80s and 90s and even earlier. True shit, true shit. I liked Interstellar. Best seeing it in theaters, IMAX. Ooh, that sounds fun, yeah. Gotta see it in theaters, IMAX. With the recline chair, kick back. Yeah, MMA Joey has become such a slave to the money, just grifting the certain fan base. Wild. Wow. Wow, it's amazing. I feel like he's not even a fan of the sport. I just don't believe he's a true fan of the sport. Maybe he is, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think it'd be fun to watch the fights with him. Like, I can't even picture him doing a fight companion or a live stream for the fights. I can't even picture it. It's a movie. It's just super symbolic with lots of Easter eggs. Ooh. Okay, alright. I like those. The visuals in Interstellar are amazing, but in my opinion, the writing isn't very good. Shit. They should just do something at AMC where they just replay all the banger movies from the 80s and 90s. I've watched a UFC pay-per-view at the movies. I watched Francis Ngannou vs. Stipe, the rematch, at the movies before. I think it was like $30 or some shit. Damn, alright, alright. It seems like Interstellar's good. Majority vote. Interstellar's not bad at all. But John Dong doesn't really think it's all that good. Alright. John Dong likes Arrival. Okay. Alright. I need some good new movies. There's nothing new. Have you checked out JG2? He does a lot of visuals with his videos. Not the live stream, but the videos he makes are real good. No, I haven't checked him out yet. I will, though. He must not be, he must not have blown up yet, but I'm sure he's doing good. If you like him, I'm sure he's good. Everyone's got their own thing that they're good at, you know. I think you should cover it all. I think you should cover it all. Like, the staples are the recaps and the predictions. But I like the drama shit, too. You know? It's always good to have the staples, the recaps, the reactions, the predictions, but you gotta cover the drama shit. Not Nina drama, but you gotta cover all the drama shit, you know? ITP MMA. I know ITP MMA. Yep. You gotta cover it all, you know? The Dana White stupidity stuff, the John Jones shit, the new fight announcements. I'm just not a fan of seeing GOAT lists all the time. Like, I can only watch so many GOAT lists. You know, I don't mind a tier list video here and there, but I can't have back-to-back tier lists. But I might be dropping a Public Enemy #1 tier list very soon. I think that'll be a fun one. There's a video on YouTube called Interstellar, when spectacle eclipses story. It does a good job explaining why Interstellar is overrated. Alright, alright. Interstellar, huh? Not a fan. I guess I gotta give it a watch. We got mixed reviews. Oh yeah, I hate GOAT lists. I can only watch so many GOAT lists. I don't know how people can watch tier list stuff all the time. Yeah, that shit should only be done once in a while. Only here and there, you know? But I'm going to do a Public Enemy #1 one soon. I think that'd be fun. Public Enemy #1. Because I made a Company Man tier list. Now it's time to do the complete polar opposite type of tier list. And Public Enemy #1 means the guys that don't care about sponsors. They don't care if they'll get cut for what they say. They don't care about censorship. They'll go against the grain. That's what I'm talking about. Public Enemy #1. It's always the same fighters and people have their own criteria. Yeah, it is. It is. It's annoying when people keep arguing about who should be on the GOAT list because you can poke holes in everyone's resume. Absolutely. I feel like we shouldn't call anyone GOAT until their career is all said and done. You know? It's very hard to rank like GOATs until they're retired. It's so hard to tell. Things change so quick. Most tier lists are boring and overdone. Too many people doing tier lists too often. Yeah. Exactly, exactly. It doesn't take much thought. That's the problem with it. It doesn't take creativity. I like videos that take some type of creativity. Jones took PEDs. Anderson Silva went on a losing streak later in his career. Khabib didn't fight good competition, etc. Right. Right. Absolutely. I agree. Yeah. This is a quick changing sport. This sport moves quickly. Plus, how can you compare two guys from different eras and weight divisions? It's tough. You know, it's tough. I mean, maybe if someone like GSP stays in shape, he can always come out of retirement and fight somebody. But other than that, it's hard to compare. You can compare by title defenses, though. You know, I do respect back in the day there was a lot more title defenses. I do respect that. You can compare activity and all that, but yeah, it's hard to compare. Dana White was saying Usman's the 170 GOAT. Interesting. Very interesting. You know what? It all comes down to the resume. Who have you fought? Like, I don't care if Jamal Hill was a champion. Look at his resume. Dustin Poirier was never a champion. Has a way more impressive resume. The belt doesn't mean everything because Jamal Hill was a champ and Poirier wasn't, you know? Crazy stuff. I think how you compare them is the resume. Who they fought. How many prime fighters did they fight? Did they fight, you know, huge names while they were in their prime? RPMMA get into the more political side. Interesting. Some hater commented on my video like yesterday saying I have MAGA-based content. MAGA content. I'm like, what? I don't talk about Donald Duck. I don't give a shit about the White House. The fuck are you talking about? Matthew McConaughey played in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. That was a good one. Yes, I seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That was great. That was a good one. I did see that. With the mask and the... Yeah. Bro, I just hit some dabs in my washroom. I'm back to 10 out of 10 stone. Oh, the concentrates is next level. The joint probably felt like nothing if you're doing the wax. Or the concentrates. Huh, you probably got the rig. You got the rig out, huh? Oh. Need a refill on the copper cup. The fuck? Is that a duck in the background? Is that John Jones in the background? I started watching the new Frankenstein on Netflix after 28 years later, which wasn't that good. Only a couple of parts were good. But like what Max Holloway said, it is what it is. True that. It is what it is. It is what it is. Did I miss any messages? Oh, I think I missed some messages here. Maybe not. Alright guys, well, the stream's been fun. I'm going to be streaming all week, hopefully. Hopefully around this same time. Maybe even a little earlier. But yeah, I think we have a week off. No fights this weekend, right? No fights coming up this weekend. We just got that pay-per-view and then we got that Apex card, but I'll be streaming all week. Good chatting, good chatting, good chat. And I'll catch you guys either tomorrow on the stream or the next day, so stay tuned. I'm going to be trying to stream a little more. Appreciate you guys joining. I'll catch you guys soon, alright? Alright, peace out, guys.